Welcome to the first sports talk we're doing on this channel. This is the NFL Draft Mock 1.0 with Tyler. We're going to cover just the first few picks, our thoughts, and Tyler will talk about the Houston Texans, I'm sure. Okay, Tyler, who do you got number one? What's the best quarterback in the class?
Going number one overall, or who do I think is the best quarterback in the draft?
Both.
Going number one overall, I mean, it really depends. Cleveland does some crazy stuff. Um, to be honest, if they don't have a clear-cut number one as their quarterback between, Darnold, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Rosen, did I say Josh Allen? I don't remember. If they don't have a clear
Yes.
cut, who they think is really just going to be there, or who's going to be the man, I would take Saquon Barkley. And then number fourth pick that they got from us, I would take the third best quarterback left. That's just me. But if they have a clear cut number one choice, they got to go with that. So if I was going quarterback, I'd probably go Sam Darnold. That's just what I've been reading a lot of. He's, the safest pick as far as who's, the best option for him.
Here this week, Josh Allen has started to skyrocket as what appears to be the clear number one. The main thing with him, they talk about his accuracy. And, they're saying, well, he didn't play with talent, but he did have some talent last year. Um, he might have the biggest arm of the group, and maybe people think he has the biggest ceiling. But there's a lot of people that can't believe he's being considered number one, and there's some people that can't believe it's even a debate. He wasn't even all conference for all 4 years at Wyoming, in the Mountain West. Your thoughts just on him? Should the Browns take him? Because their general manager, if I'm not mistaken, was at Kansas City and was one of the reasons that Patrick Mahomes is there because he likes big arms.
I'm trying to think if they even have any receivers that can really stretch the field that the big arm would really,
You might want to look at their roster. They do.
Who do they have now?
The guy from Baylor, if they can keep him straight.
Well, okay, we're
and
not
I can't
counting
think
him.
of the other guy's name. There's another guy. They have receivers.
Well, I'm talking about a speedster, someone that's a deep threat. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're Cleveland. What have you got to use or lose? Shoot for the stars. Go for the guy that you think might have the most potential. Um, I think he's kind of like Mitch Trubisky last year. Not saying that they're same talent or anything like that, but you got a guy that didn't go to a big name football program, but he's got good intangibles. And coaches are always going to think that in my system that guy could you know topple the records. So we'll see what happens with him. He's definitely the guy that everybody's putting the high risk, high reward on. But we'll see. I've got no reason not to root for the guy.
Okay, so just so I can be clear and we have it stated, who is, in your opinion, is the best quarterback in this draft? I don't care if you say Baker Mayfield or whoever. I just want to know who is the best quarterback in this draft.
Who was Texas Tech's quarterback this year?
Some nobody.
No, I don't know. From what I've been reading, I'll have to go with Sam Darnold. It's someone that from what I'm reading, saying he's a bit safer pick and should still has a pretty good ceiling on him. So that's who I'd have to go with if I was going to take one number one. I would probably take Saquon Barkley number one, though, if I was the Browns.
Okay, so let's say in Tyler's magical world, the Browns take Saquon Barkley. What do you do if you're the Giants? Because that's where he's projected. And for some reason, if he's there and everyone keeps thinking he's a transitional running back, that's who should go there. I'm not as sold on him as everyone else. Eli's getting older. Thoughts?
I definitely take a quarterback, but if I'm the Giants and, they have so much faith in Eli still, try and trade back a few spots, see if you can pick something else up. Your team's not very good. See if you can get a little, teams
If
are going to.
If Saquon Barkley's there at number two, do you take him?
Yeah, I think so. He could have the same impact that Leonard Fournette had in Jacksonville, Ezekiel Elliott had in Dallas. Turning a average quarterback into a much better passer.
The only reason Leonard Fournette had success in Jacksonville is because Nick Saban's not coaching in the AFC South. Leonard Fournette has no rushing stats versus Alabama.
Yeah, well, luckily he doesn't have to see Saban anymore. So
okay, so that was your thoughts on that. Jets. I think they got this from the Colts. If Darnold's there, it's probably quarterback for them with the third.
Yeah,
pick.
They got to go quarterback. They need to get one.
If Darnold gets taken, would you go Allen or Rosen? Or once again, I'll say it out there: anyone who wants to take Baker Mayfield, feel free.
I'm staying away from Baker Mayfield. You know, the guy, he's got too much of a Manziel attitude and not the athleticism.
Would you have stayed away from Deshaun Watson?
No, I was actually excited when they drafted him.
Good.
I wouldn't have taken him number 1 overall. I didn't think he was going to do what he did.
Try and keep your teeth closer together because I want to know if the lies can actually make it through that.
I love Deshaun Watson, and I would have taken him there.
Okay.
Once Mahomes went off the board, I was praying for Watson.
We're sure the Jets are taking a quarterback. Now let's get to the Browns. If Bradley Chubb's there, everyone's comparing him, to obviously he gets a little bit of Mario Williams because he's from NC State, but he's supposed to be this transitional defensive end that'll change, a team's thing. And if you put him opposite of Myles Garrett, is that a good combination? Like you think you have a quarterback or you say a running back with your first pick. And if you have 2 bookends, can the Browns change things if they hit this draft right?
Yeah, I don't think that they need to go Bradley Chubb either way. I think that they really, if they're going to go quarterback or running back first overall, well, I take that back. If they take Barkley first overall and they have a shot at, they're going to get a shot at a quarterback, they have to take the quarterback. If they go quarterback first overall and Barkley's there at 4, I think they have to take Barkley. I mean, their team's terrible. They need to drastically improve one side.
Most people can't see the Giants passing on Saquon. I'm just saying most people can't see that.
I'm just saying if they have a chance to nab, running back, quarterback there, with Barkley being the running back, obviously, they really need to do it. I think they need to improve one side drastically versus try and just improve both sides a little bit.
Just so I can say, if you want to see this draft go haywire, if the Browns draft Barkley or if they draft number 1, that will set the draft off right there because it'll throw everything out. And then if they draft a quarterback, let's say Browns number 1 draft quarterback, and then the Giants turn around and draft a quarterback or trade, that would also the draft will be thrown off. Either one of those first 2 picks. Now, if it goes quarterback Barkley, we'll still be going probably Pace, but those 2 guys could throw the draft off.
I've got one scenario for you, and I'm going to piggyback off of it. So, if the Browns take Barkley first overall, do you see the Browns really wanting to take a quarterback second, or do you think they would listen to trade offers?
Trade offers, unless if they are that sold in on Bradley Chubb, they'll take him because that'd be a pass rush they'll be happy with.
Okay, so let me throw a scenario at you. Don't have to talk about it. 30 seconds. Browns take Barkley first overall. Browns offer the Giants to move up to the 2nd overall spot and take the top quarterback choice.
Are you giving a pick for next year?
The Browns have a lot of ammunition and picks, mainly from Houston. They've got 2 second-round picks. They could probably give up one. That's the only way I can see them getting Barkley and the top quarterback. I mean, I might try and pull the trigger if I was Cleveland. You got to do something, but that'd be fun to watch.
We'll see what happens. You never know. That would be nice. Number 5 is Broncos. They signed Case Keenum, but Elway and them seem to still – I think they're going to see how the quarterbacks shake out in front of them and see what's there. Is there any chance they trade out?
I've seen reports that they said they're willing to trade out. Same with the Colts. I think they're just trying to feel what's there in case a quarterback that they like doesn't fall. The Colts obviously won't take a quarterback. Well, you never know. I mean, Andrew Luck's always hurt now. Depends how much faith they have in that as far as a quarterback. But I think both of those teams will look to move out if there's not somebody that they absolutely love there, which any team should. But I definitely think the Broncos look to trade out.
Let's go to the Colts at number 6. They're projected Raekwon Smith right now is what a lot of the projections are. It's a linebacker out of Georgia, a lot of speed side to side. It seems like it'd be a solid pick, but linebackers are iffy in the draft at best.
Yeah. Again, that's another team I think needs to trade out just because it seems, you can laugh all you want, the AFC South is getting better minus the Colts. Tennessee seems to be making moves. Jacksonville making moves. Houston made a few moves in free agency. The Colts, they need to try and add some players. So I could see them definitely trading out to somebody who wants to take a chance on, maybe Quentin Nelson or, one of the defensive backs that are supposed to go up pretty high.
Number 7, the Buccaneers are looking Minkah Fitzpatrick or Denzel Ward out of Ohio State cornerback, and then there's Derwin James out of Florida State safety. All three are secondary. It seems like Tampa Bay's going to take one of them. Any thoughts on who?
I got to go with Fitzpatrick there. I mean, roll Tide on that one. They just produce players. I mean, if you're going to take if you're going to take somebody, Alabama's always a good school to take somebody from. They've had good defensive backs. That's what I would go with there. That's just me.
I'll tell you right now, one of the things that has been said from NFL personnel about Alabama players since Saban has got to Alabama is, for the most part, they are fully developed due to the training, knowledge that's bestowed upon them, and just their overall development. So it's like what you see, the product is highly possible of what you're going to get. There might not be room to grow to where some players may not have had the level of coaching or weight room, and just they might not have the resources Alabama has. So that doesn't scare you from taking Fitzpatrick?
Not really. It just depends what you want to do there. Do you want to roll the dice, or do you want something, do you want to know what you're getting, or do you want to be like, hey, I don't know what's inside this Easter egg. It might be money. It might be the confetti egg, I don't know. I would probably play it safe at that point. Tampa Bay doesn't have a bad roster. I don't think they need to hit a home run. They didn't play well, but they've got some pieces in place to where I think they can be a team that makes a playoff. Well, not a playoff push, but makes a push to get into the playoffs this year.
Bears. They can't trade up. If they can't trade up, the projection's probably the guard from Notre Dame, Quentin Nelson. Is that just probably what they get? I think they might be trying to trade up. I think they would love to have the number 2 pick and get Saquon Barkley.
If they could do that, although I don't know that I would, because they've gotten good production from their running backs. I mean, they don't have a Zeke Elliott or
Is Saquon Barkley a once in a generation player or not?
I think so, but I don't. They're a team that's not that good. Again, I don't think they can afford to trade up for Saquon Barkley. I would go offensive line and protect your investment in Trubisky.
Okay, we'll round this out. Number 9, San Francisco. Probably it's projected Denzel Ward from Ohio State or maybe Derwin James, even though they have solid safeties. Fitzpatrick, if he's not drafted by Tampa Bay, would also.
Hey, go out and get Roquan Smith. Get that new Patrick Willis toy in there.
Yeah.
Either that or get some, UTSA Marcus Davenport. You got to respect the pecker on that one.
And we'll end our top 10 with the Oakland Raiders. It's Derwin James. It's the same 3. They're looking at the secondary. This will be Gruden's first pick. So if there is no trade, because Gruden's the offensive coach, can you see him going defense?
Yes, because I don't see any shiny new toys for his offense that he's got to have at that position. And if you're an offensive-minded guy, again, you're coming in and you're thinking, I can make this offense better. I need to get somebody on the defensive side to improve the defense. I can improve the offense. Um, obviously it's going to have to get a few pieces throughout the draft, but this pick, I think they go defense.
So let's answer the real question here. Calvin Ridley is there. They already have Amari Cooper. Didn't they get rid of
Crabtree's gone.
Yeah. So do you not have faith in Calvin Ridley? Is there not a receiver there that you can give to Derek Carr?
I mean, they're all there. If they really like a receiver, I could see them, maybe try and trade down a few spots for somebody that wants one of the corner, either wants Ward or wants Derwin James or Fitzpatrick if he's still there. Take advantage of it, get a couple extra picks in the mid round, and then take one of your receivers if you like them. Because I don't really see a receiver here going until 15 to the Cardinals. So, see if Green Bay wants to move up. Did they re-sign their safety, Burnett or something like that?
100% sure.
Maybe they want to get a replacement in there. Or Josh Rosen. I mean, if he's still sitting there, there might be a quarterback team that needs to move up to get him. So that's where the Pat Mahomes and the Deshaun Watson trade happened last year, was right there at 10. So, they might be in a good position there to trade back.
Okay, so you're not interested in Baker Mayfield?
No.
Lamar Jackson?
Absolutely.
So is he a first-round pick, or is he going to be a surprise for someone in a later round?
I think it'll be a late first-round pick. This is a Patriots thing going on right here, some of that collusion. See him go slide in there somehow to them perfectly at their pick. I don't know. So again, somebody might fall in love with him and trade up. There's a lot more quarterbacks this year than last year. Last year, I was all over the quarterbacks because Houston needed to get one. So, Watson and Mahomes were projected to be a late first-round pick, and then Kansas City moves up to 10, and Houston has to move up to 12 right after. So, Jackson could be gone in the middle of the first round. You just don't know what's going to happen. Buffalo's picking. Washington just traded for Alex Smith, but how many years does he have left in him? They could take a
signed a pretty big contract.
Yeah, but if you get a rookie, they're on a rookie contract for 4 years, and then you get the option for the fifth, so you get to have that solid backup, hopefully, and then hopefully that's your guy. So I think there could be there could be a run on quarterbacks. We could see a lot taken in the first half of the first round.
Round us out with the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. So we don't pick until the third round. Let me pull it up real fast. We have the 68th pick, the 80th pick, and the 98th pick. Now, I'm okay with it to an extent because we had to give up a little to get Deshaun Watson, and so far that's looking good. The other part, we had to give up a second-round pick so that somebody would take Brock Osweiler from us. So, again, why I say Cleveland might have the ammunition to move up second overall. They can thank us for that. We have to get an offensive lineman or two. Right now, what I'm seeing from John McClain, he's the main writer for the Houston Texans. He's picking a running back, Rashad Penny, going to a 68th from San Diego State. Joseph Noteboom, tackle from TCU at the 80th pick. And then the 98th pick, Tarvarius Moore, safety from Southern Mississippi. So far, what I've seen on all our mock drafts is we have an offensive tackle going to us with either our first or second third-round pick. And then the third pick in the third round has been a safety. This Moore guy's the first one I've seen. Usually I've seen Deshaun Elliott from Texas. I've heard some rumors of us going after the Oklahoma tackle because with his bad combine, he should slide. You're not going to get a starter in the third round that's, a clear-cut starter, that is going to. So you're hoping. But honestly, with the state of our offensive line, I wouldn't mind seeing two tackles taken in the third round. I don't see any other real position of need as bad as tackle because we just cut Derek Newton. We don't have a starting left tackle, so now not a right tackle. Got to protect Sean Watson, even though he's good at escaping. We can't have him running for his life every game. So hopefully offensive tackle, maybe offensive tackle a third time. Just, hope you hit on one of them.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mock Draft 1.0 with Tyler. We got a little Texan insider, I guess we'll call it.
Texans the Super Bowl, baby.
That's it. We'll be doing more stuff with the channel. Thanks, Tyler.
All right. Later, man.